What's up, high achievers and those who want to become the greatest humans possible. My name is Eckl and today we're setting our baseline higher. So what do I mean by a baseline? For every thing you actually do, for every activity, even for every emotion, you have a baseline. So this is actually the average feeling or the average performance or the average results or the average effort you get put into things or whatever. And this is specific for every small part of your life. So for example, your baseline in terms of how often you work out might be 3 times a week. And this is your baseline because you probably, for the last month, you worked out 3 times a week. And so this is normal for you. If you would do less, you wouldn't feel good, you wouldn't be proud of you, you just would feel like you would have enough energy to just go another time. And if you would go more often, you would just feel too exhausted eventually after 2 weeks to just go the 4th time, and you would eventually drop back to your baseline. And this is exactly what I mean by that term. So the first step is to actually just to get conscious of this. That means you have a baseline everywhere. It's also about like what you eat, or you even have a baseline about with whom you meet. You're actually always meeting with the same people, so they actually represent your baseline. If you would meet yourself with people who are, for example, less supportive, you would feel like, oh, these people are so unsupportive, I don't want to stay here. And if you would meet with people who are way more supportive, you would be like, oh wow, they're so supportive. Well, I'm not so supportive. Like, maybe I don't really fit in here. Maybe. But exactly at this example, this is right there where you want to be. Maybe you also get like inspired and be like, oh my God, they're so supportive. Maybe I personally should become more supportive. And this is what we want to do with our baseline. Set it higher. So why is there this baseline? The baseline is there because our body and our brain is designed for survival. So since it can't really know what's the right thing for ourselves, it's actually just a trial and error. So your body knows, well, if I'm alive right now, what I did in the past can't be too bad. So I would just keep on doing this. Shout out to this bird. So it will always hold you to the things you've been doing in the past, since it must at least be good enough to keep you alive. But these days are over. Like, you will eventually survive with anything you do. I mean, okay, you can kill yourself, but you know what I mean. So through willpower, effort, role models, affirmations, and so on, we can change this baseline. But it takes constant energy, day in and day out, because it's such a huge part of our self, of the way our complete body system works, that it's so hard to get out of this. But the payoff is also amazing, because what's happening? Let's take me as an example with meditation. You also have a baseline when it comes to meditation. So for me, in the beginning, it was so hard to only sit down for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It was like just not possible. Like, it was so, oh, this is so boring, I want to do something else or whatever. Right now, I actually, and then let's say, so over the time, I managed to get up to 50 minutes. So sitting down for 50 minutes was really okay. And then one day I was so ambitious, I just wanted to say, oh, like, all right, it's double the duration. I just go for 30 minutes. What happened? I sat down, had my timer for 30 minutes, and I was sitting down, relaxing, 50 minutes, all right, and suddenly it really felt like, okay, now 50 minutes are over, now this is what I'm not used to, fuck you. And you're really sitting down like, oh, my back, and oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe it's already 30 minutes are over and my clock just doesn't go off and so on. You know, your body's just manipulating you. And the big payoff now is that now we're, let's say, I think maybe for a month or so, I meditated for 30 minutes always. Now it's normal for me to meditate for 30 minutes, you know? So if I would now try to, for example, leave after 50 minutes, it would feel so strange to me. I mean, I would be like, my body would be like, no, I mean, normally we only stand up after 30 minutes. And this is exactly the important thing. So for example, to go back to the example with the gym, this means once you made, for example, your baseline up to 5 times per week, and then there is, for example, a week where you just don't feel like that, and you would normally maybe just go 3 times per week. Even if you won't go 5 times per week, since your baseline is at 5 times and you feel like you're like going to 3 times, you will still feel at 3 times, you will still feel kind of unsatisfied, and you will probably go 4 times. So once you created a higher baseline, your body will actually help you. So it will always push you to the baseline, whether you're underneath the baseline or you're above it. And this is exactly the reason why it's so important that day in and day out, we always keep pushing our baselines higher, because then we get our body, instead of playing against us, on our side, and he will help us to maintain this big pace. But since it's such a hard thing, you really want to choose your areas where you raise your baselines wisely. I mean, you don't really win something if you put your baseline in terms of brushing your teeth up to 10 minutes. I mean, this is obvious, but I just want to let you know this, because like this is real emotional work. So you should definitely consider which life areas are most important to you and then focus on them. Alright, that's it. Raise your baseline higher today to make sure you keep a high level of output through all your year, through all your life. And have a beautiful day. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, whatever. Peace out. All the best.